Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight's episode is another Throwback Thursday episode. And to stick with the Halloween theme, I guess, and this pay per view is coming up this upcoming Sunday. I figured, we go back in time to late 80s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s. We're going to be talking about the best of Halloween Havoc matches, and there's a few that I have to go over with you guys tonight. But please make sure to like us, follow us, and subscribe to us for all future content. And let's get right into it. So, with the Halloween Havoc matches, there's a few handful ones that I had picked for our selections tonight, and some of them are from late '80s, like I said, to early '90s to mid '90s, maybe late '90s, and it's few and far between. And I picked a handful of matches that I thought were the best of those Halloween Havoc matches, and this first one is going to be an absolute classic. It is from Halloween Havoc 1997, which, for that time period, it's like late 90s and all that stuff. It's all about grunge and all that stuff. But this one actually helped put two people that were in the cruiserweight division up to like maybe kind of like an upper echelon, I guess, in a way. Is Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, one of the all-time greatest matches in Rey Mysterio's career, I guess, in WCW. This one's like a very absolute classic, and it's all for the good reasons, like good lucha things, luchador stuff, plus it was title versus mask, and Eddie's title, cruiserweight title, was on the line, and this is mullet Eddie too, like mullet Eddie, like this is like Latino heat Eddie here. Just before he goes jump ship to WWF with Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Chris Benoit, in 2000. And Ray's mask at the time, it was like one of those sacred things where it's like the luchador mask is one of those things where if you like rip it at it or if you take it off and all stuff, it's like one of those like it's like like signs of abandoning your gimmick sort of thing. And the mask, like Mike Tenay goes over it like in great detail on the show, and saying like the mask means a lot of things to a lot of luchadors, and it's like it's a way of life and all that stuff. It's good back and forth between both sides. More so Eddie on this one, but then Ray gets his comeuppance and all that stuff, or Eddie's getting his uppings, and then Ray pins him for like 1, 2, 3. But I can't do this match any justice. I can't do like a really blow by blow for it. But guys, go check it out and see it for yourself. It is one of the like best matches for Halloween Havoc on that card for that time period. Um, but let's go back, to 1991. The beginning of the 90s. And these two people, let's just say that these two big powerhouses in question, I think they were fighting for the WCW World Title at the time, and it is Lex Luger versus Ron Simmons. Yes, Mister Acolyte, damn himself. Um, I think this was for the world title. I think it was Halloween Havoc 1991, and it was like one of the like I guess all time best matches on that card for that year. I didn't put anything from like 92 or 93 on there. Um, but it's it's highly regarded as I think maybe like one of the like the best matches of like either man's career at that point too. I think Ron Simmons is like one of those people that were like is really underutilized and underappreciated because like he helped put like a lot of like black athletes on the map sort of thing, like because like he was from a former football background, and then like he went into wrestling. um But then, like his signature is like 3 point stance and all that stuff, and does chop block and all that stuff. He wasn't even doing like the Dominator or the Spine Buster yet, so it's like one of those things like kind of cool to see like where Ron Simmons became back then to where he is now, sort of thing. And Luger, like it's a battle of behemoths. Let's just say that it's a battle of behemoths. But I would seek this one out. It's probably one of those like rare hidden gems on the show. But I would kind of seek this out if you like that sort of thing. Now, let's talk about more of Lex Luger here. Now, this first match that I had written down was Lex Luger versus Brian Pillman from Halloween Havoc of 1989. Now, this is way before my time, but when I had looked up for research and all that stuff, this was highly regarded as like one of the best pay per view matches of that year for Halloween Havoc's sake. And I have not watched this match or anything, but I can't lie what the internet has to say. So it's like one of those things like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go with what the internet says. So I'm thinking this is like it's like a big man versus little man matchup. It's like heavyweight versus like light heavyweight. And I'm thinking maybe like Brian Pillman's kind of like running circles around Lex Luger because like he's this big huge body guy. He can't really do much. He's like really immobile sometimes. But like there's Brian with like very quick and very fast movements and all that stuff. It's kind of like one of those like giant versus like cruiserweight matches, like with like Ray and Big Show from back in the day or something, or like Ray and Kane from back in the day and stuff. Um, but if you guys do know what the outcome, or I guess, or like what you guys thought of this match, leave it in the comments below. If you have seen this match or not, but oh man, there's a lot of matches that I have not seen on some of this list, but I'll try to do my best and do my due diligence here. So let's go forward in time to 1998, the year I was born, 2 months before I was born. I know that shows how old I am. This is Halloween Havoc 1998. This pay per view was a not a master class, but it was not it's not bad, but it's not good sort of one pay per views. It has a good opening matchup with like the cruiserweight stuff, and then it has like some good tag team wrestling here and there. Halloween Havoc 1998 just uh, live streamed on YouTube not too long ago. Because like some people like they kind of were watching it and all that stuff. And I think like the opening matchup was like Jericho and Raven for the TV title and all that stuff, and then there's like some good cruiserweight matches and all that stuff. Disco Inferno like gets like 2 paychecks on that night. I'm thinking, and then some like bullshit stuff and all that stuff. But the match that I'm really wanted to talk about is Goldberg versus DDP for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, if for those of you who do not know, how did DDP get to this point? Well, DDP had won a War Games match where it was 3 teams of 3, so it was 9 people. It was Team MWO, Team I think Wolfpack, and then Team WCW, and it was just all over the place. It was like Bret Hart and DDP like starting out and all that stuff, and then it went into like Stevie Ray, and then went into like Wolfpack Sting and Roddy Piper and Kevin Nash and all that stuff. And plus like people can just pin or submit before all 9 competitors got in and all that shit. Um, which shows like the time period of like like they're just changing up rules as they go on. But the DDP had won the War Games match, so he got the world title shot at Halloween Havoc that year. And Goldberg was like, he was the world heavyweight champion at the time. And this is like the match that like kind of pissed people off a little bit. Because they were they were like kind of running low on time and money, and the satellite was like starting to go out, and they just cut the pay-per-view off at like a certain point, and people were really mad about this, and rightfully so, because people were demanding refunds, they were demanding bullshit. And so I think it was like the next night on Nitro, like they aired the whole match in full to have people like get in their good graces and stuff. Yeah, but this match was like an actual like absolute classic, because it's 10 maybe 11 minutes of like DDP trying to like make Goldberg look good, because Goldberg can only do like maybe 4 to 5 minute squash matches and stuff, and he can't move very fast like a lot of people. And plus, it's world title match in the main event of the pay per view. And plus, like you would really think that like DDP would eat, like squeeze out the win and all that stuff, and like against Goldberg, but it's like it was face versus face too, so it's like you gotta play that like heel kind of like, okay, who's heel, who's not, sort of thing. And there's some good sportsmanship and all that stuff. And it's a really good match. If you guys have not seen this before, I would highly recommend it as well. Um, all the matches that I'm going to be talking about, like go seek them out on your own time and all that stuff. But it's really really good. Um, okay, let me just catch my breath here. Been rambling on for like 10 straight, like almost 11 minutes here. So the last two matches that I'm going to be talking about, the second to last one is Hogan versus Flair from Halloween Havoc 1994. Now, we did not get this match in WWF when they were, in the company still. And this is like just after Hogan had left in the summer of 1994. He joins WCW, and it's just signs his big huge contract and all that stuff, and comes out like on his motorcycle, and Hulkamania brother and all that stuff. And this is like a year and some change maybe before he did the leg drop heard around the world thing at the next year's, I think, Great American Bash. And I think this is a really good match too. And plus it was Hogan and Flair, so it's like, why not? Um, this is not like a stinker like Hogan and Warrior at 97, or 98, I should say. Um, Hogan and Flair, like 94 too. It was a big, huge year for 94. And plus, like Flair, like I said, like he had just left WWF in 92. He comes back, and he's going like rapper and like on top of the world and all that stuff. And like Hogan's just fresh off of like WWF run, and he's like, okay, I'm just going to right after the biggest dog in town, and he goes right after Ric Flair. And it's a match that we've never seen before on WWF or WCW programming. And then they waited until the biggest pay per view of that year. Kind of, it's not the biggest pay per view of the year, but it was like kind of synonymous, I guess, if you want to talk about that. But I highly recommend this match as well. But the biggest one that I want to save for last, it is from Halloween Havoc 1997. It's Randy Macho Man Savage, and DDP. And Savage at this time was NWO out. He was black and white. Like whatever. And DDP, he's the people champion. He was dubbed the people champion, and this is before Rock becomes like a huge personality, like people's champion, The Rock, sort of thing. And this match at Halloween Havoc, Halloween Havoc 1997 is a Las Vegas street fight, and this match like goes all over the place. Like it goes like near the set, it goes into the crowd, it goes out of the crowd. It like Randy's like beating up announcers, he's beating up timekeeper, he's beating up a whole bunch of people. Like he almost like slaps like Kimberly Page at one point. Like he was just like, holy shit. And DDP's like, he's just, I think he's won two straight matches at this point. So it was like, I think it was like, it was like no holds barred. I think it was like last man standing or something. Um, but this match was really, really physical. And you could probably just tell, like, Randy and DDP were just like, okay, like, let's call in the back, be like, okay, let's be physical as possible, like, be very, very physical. And, like, referees got involved and all that stuff, and it's like Randy beats them down and all that stuff. And then it's like one of those matches, like, I wish we could have gotten, like if I was like around for that time period, like I wish I could have gotten to see that live, which that would have been freaking awesome to see that live. But it's one of those things, like I can go back and look on it now, just be like, wow, like like 97, like going into 98, it's like one of those like hot time periods and stuff like that for both companies. More so like WWF because it's kind of getting into Attitude Era area. Um, but you get what you get with this. And yeah, like all the matches that I've talked about on this episode, it's like go seek them out, go watch them. Uh, let me know what you guys think of those matches in the comments below if you have seen them before, and if not, go seek them out, go watch them. You'll probably have a good time watching them, probably more than I would, because I don't have hardly any time to do that at this point. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching and or listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, uh, please follow us on all the social medias in the link tree down in the description below. We have Twitter, Instagram, Reddit page, Twitter page. I think I said I think I said Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and we have our own individual Twitters on there. I think TikTok, my gaming YouTube channel at this point too, um, and let's me think about the song of the night, and I will be right back. So for the song of the night, I am going to go with a very popular band of me and Marissa's at this point. They have just kind of ended their long term kind of career and all that stuff. They're kind of going through some motions right now, but it's like, hopefully we'll get some more stuff with them in the near future, but it's, never say die sort of thing. I'm going to go with Sum 41, and the song that I'm going to be going to for tonight is called The Hell Song, and there is a music video, and it's a funny music video. And that is my song of the night. So that's it. It's Hell Song by Sum 41, and that's the song of the night, and that's it. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching, and I will see you on Halloween. Peace.